One important evidence that whether we are doing our things right will be the quality of your evaluation, the quality of your assessments. Let me introduce this concept of assess, mend, MEND. So it is not only important that you are doing a right kind of an assessment, but where is this mending part? Where is this correction part? Will assessment only to grade the slippages? To grade what you do not know? It should be something more, something different in this new normal, wherein we can have mechanisms to design those relevant content in a personalized form, which we say adaptive learning, to ensure that we are doing your assessment just to mend you. And that should be a continuous process. What I have done here is a body of education. At the top, we are striving for intelligence, all your IQs, left, right brain, logical, intuitive, analytical. Then we have to address on the empathy, what we say as EQ. Then we have the communication, the spiritual side. You have your skills, dexterity, the passion, and then the lower part of the body, which has to build your endurance, your mobility. And this was before. This is something which is not new. Only the perspective has changed. What I have done is I've mapped it into a kind of a whole body experience. Education has to be designed. If you're talking about life skills, if you're talking about curriculum-based discourse, if you're talking about liberal education, whatever education we are designing, we are developing, let it impact the whole body. Here is something for the teachers. As I said, that in this new normal, let us focus more on assessment, MEND. I'm stressing always on the mending part. And we have to design very interesting templates for assessment, which can be very generic. One of the template can be, what I say is, that you create a box in the middle and then you specify on that input, you define one input. And there can be other inputs as well, which are undefined, which you can leave it to the imagination of the participant or the examinee. Another thing at the top you define is the outcome or the output. This is stated, one input is stated. Let the participant come up with the solution, come up with the process, come up with the flow. Now this can be a code, this can be a pattern, whatever it is. It may so happen that no two solutions are the same, no two filled in boxes are the same. Yet they would merit different benchmarks in terms of evaluation. This can be very, very interesting, you can try it. Another template can be, which I am using a very good word to abnormal, is abstract. So give a abstract something which is not well defined, right? It can be a problem, it can be a simulation, it can be a script, whatever that is here, that is abstract. From this abstract, you have to create a form. As long as you are able to create a form and stick to this with your rationale, with your logic, with your interpretation, that is your ingenuity. That is you and your open world. What interactions you are having with your open world, with your books, with your mentors, with your teachers, with your peers, you are coming up with a form which you can call your own. This is how we can attempt towards problem solving, real world problem solving. You do a lot of analysis, you do a lot of reasoning, you do a lot of projections and stuff like that. Then only you are arriving at a form. Try this, teachers.
Here is the Capstone Project Assessment Process Map. How do you design the gap here? Will entail assessee-assessor collaboration. For mending at both ends, this will be how assessment will be different from assessment.
So both the physical and the virtual, they will be partners in progress to help us prepare for the best.